Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I am going to explain how to prepare lesson plan. Lesson plan is very important to be prepared in an academic year. Every teacher has to prepare a lesson plan of each lesson in their subject that they are going to teach in. Here I am explaining lesson plan of social science from class 7th. See, here is subject. You have to mention the subject, in which subject you are going to teach. As I am a teacher of social science subject, I have chosen lesson to explain you how to make or prepare lesson plan of that lesson. In subject you have to write the subject. I have written social science, and the chapter you have to write the chapter name that you are going to prepare lesson plan. I have written major developments in the world. That is the first lesson in social science of 7th class. Here you have to mention the class and the section. In some schools, classes are divided into A, B, C depending on the number of students. See here, beginning date, the date on which you start the lesson and the date on which you are likely to end the lesson. You have to mention both these dates. There may be some variation, no need to worry about. See here, learning points, that is competencies of the students, what the students can learn after this lesson. You have to mention here, first one, grasp the teachings of Jesus Christ and Prophet Muhammad. That is, students can learn about the teachings of Jesus Christ and Prophet Muhammad after the completion of this lesson. Second one, know the influence of the Arabs, the Mongols and the Turkish empires on Indian history. How did, to what extent, the Arabs, the Mongols and the Turkish influenced Indian culture, society. These aspects can be studied by and understood by the students after the completion of this lesson. See here, steps of 5 E's. 5 E's means engage, explore, explain, expand, evaluation. Here in facilitating method column, you have to write how do you facilitate your teaching way. In the engage row and facilitating method, you have to write how do you engage students in your teaching environment. We start a lesson by asking few basic questions relating to the chapter. So we have to write here questioning. That is, we ask few questions students at the beginning of the lesson. In the explore row, we conduct group discussion. Allow students to discuss among themselves and answer the questions that we ask them. In the explain row, we have to write footing for the lesson, means how do we explain the lesson, how do we make students understand the lesson that we teach. Okay, so we have to write here footing for the lesson or explaining, introducing the lesson. Okay, then
There
In the activities column, we engage students by asking questions. We have to write in the row of engage in the activities column, ask questions. As I earlier mentioned, ask questions. We ask questions in the beginning of the lessons. We have to write ask questions in the activity column. Then in the explore row, we have to write get answers. We make students group among themselves and ask them questions. In this activities we get answers from the students. Okay, whenever we ask questions, we have to let students to group among themselves and discuss, give answers. So here we get answers. In the explain row, how do you explain? How do we explain? Start lesson. Telling what is history. We have to explain what is history. What does history mean? Okay. Then Christianity, Jesus Christ, life and teachings. After telling what is history, we have to start religions that influenced Indian culture, society. Christianity comes first. In this religion, we have to explain Jesus Christ, about his life and his teachings. Then Islam religion, Prophet Muhammad, who was the messenger of God. Teachings of Islam, pillars of Islam. There are 5 pillars of Islam. We have to explain them and teachings of Islam. Crusades are religious wars fought between the Christians and the Islams in order to take control over the Palestine, the holy place, and the effects of crusades. Then the Ottoman Turks. Where did Ottoman Turks came from? And their invasions over India, effects of those invasions. We have to clear here all of these concepts. Then in the expand row, in the activities column, we have to how do we expand our teaching. We have to make students prepare chronology. Chronology is arrangement of events as per their occurrence. We have to give work to students to prepare chronology of events that took place in the history. And evaluation. In the evaluation row activities column, we have to take a unit test to know the understanding of the students about this lesson. Then here TLM means teaching learning materials that we use while teaching a lesson. Which materials do we use? Based on the lesson section, we use different types of TLMs. That is, when we teach history, geography, polity, we use different types of TLMs. Okay. Here in this lesson, I use map while engaging students. I show map and invite students one by one to identify different places on the map. And word map is also used to indicate different places belong to the Christianity, Islam, Prophet Muhammad, where did he born, the Ottoman Turks, where did they come from. Okay, and photo of Jesus Christ, card sheet of Mecca. Mecca is a holy place in Saudi Arabia. We have to make students make a card sheet of Mecca and hang it on the walls of the classroom. And PPT, these are TLMs to be used while teaching this lesson, that is major developments in the world. And in the evaluation column there are two sub columns, tools and techniques. To evaluate we have to use both tools and techniques. Tools means materials that are going to be used by us while teaching a lesson. First we use question and answers. Question and answers are the most important tools to be used whichever lesson we are going to teach. We have to ask questions and get answers. This question and answers is a must. Then textbook, we have to use textbook to ask questions. Then a map to identify places, and a whiteboard, duster, marker to write important words, meanings and answers. These are tools to be used. And techniques, which techniques should we use? Oral interaction, we have to start oral interaction with the students so that they engage in discussion, answer your questions. We have to invite one by one on the stage to answer, write answers on the board, identify places on the map so that they can get rid of stage fear. And then discussion, we have to engage in discussion with the students. Performance observation, we have to observe the performance of students to know their understanding of the lesson. Identifying places on the map, as I already said, identifying places on the map makes students understand the position, latitude, longitudes of different places on the Indian, state and world map as a whole. Then in the evaluation row, tools column, we have to use question paper to evaluate the students. In the technique row, we have to take written exam to know the evaluate handwriting of the students, their sentence structure and their knowledge about the lesson that they learn. Here in the last column, that is teachers self-evaluation. How should we evaluate about students learning, their knowledge? First one, whether students can explain the teachings of the Christianity, Islam. We have to evaluate ourselves whether students can explain the teachings of the Christianity and Islam and the five pillars of Islam. How did it spread to other parts of the country? How many disciples were there after the Christ? How was Islam spread in Arabia? What were the teachings of Prophet Muhammad? we have to evaluate about all of these. Then have students known the causes of the crusades? Which causes led to the crusades? The religious wars, 9 wars fought between the Christians and the Muslims in order to get control over the Palestine, a holy place in Western Asia. These aspects should be evaluated by teachers. Okay, and at the bottom there will be teachers sign and headmaster sign. This is all about preparing a lesson plan of a lesson in any subject. Hope this will help you to understand, make lesson plan whichever subject you may teach. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe my channel, give a like to the video and share with your colleagues. Thank you one and all.